My name is Lonnie Leslie. I retired from the Clovis schools after 33 years serving as a school district administrator. Since 2007, I served as chairman of the local growth management organization. This organization is made up of the City of Clovis, Portales, Curry and Roosevelt County Commissions, the Air Force, Department of Defense, and the state of New Mexico. We were tasked with developing a plan that would make recommendations for Clovis, New Mexico, and our surrounding area as Cannon grew. As we did our study, we determined that about a third of the economic base of Clovis, New Mexico is based on having Cannon Air Force Base in our community. As we made this multi-year study in planning for the growth of Cannon, one of the things that we knew from the very beginning was that housing would be an issue. It's interesting that as we started out with the plan, the Air Force initially estimated that when Cannon was completely grown out, that we would end up with 4,800 military personnel. I heard a briefing today from Colonel Smith, the Deputy Wing Commander, and the number as of today was 6,200 military personnel. So the amount of folks coming to Cannon has certainly increased dramatically as we've done our study, and that dramatic increase certainly requires that Clovis, New Mexico be able to meet the demand for housing for all those people. And it's not only the folks from Cannon that's causing our population to increase, but things like Tres Amigas. Also, today it was revealed in the briefing that Cannon will spend, by the time all the construction takes place, over $1.1 billion. Tres Amigas is a $1.5 billion project. Those two, the construction project for the base and for Tres Amigas certainly will increase the demand for construction personnel in our community. That will also have an effect on the amount of affordable housing that we need. The question has always been, when we take a look at affordable housing, do we need new homes? Will the amount of existing homes on the market suffice? Or do we have enough rental units available? In visiting with the realtor today, there's a lot of affordable houses on the market right now. But those houses aren't in Northeast Clovis, and they're not new. They're certainly affordable, and they're good houses in safe neighborhoods, but a lot of the demand seems to be for new houses, new construction. Another thing we determined as we made this study was that people are moving in from areas where the housing market is terrible. Florida and Las Vegas, and it's been very difficult for some of these people to sell their homes in those areas. So since they have an existing home that they can't sell, when they move to Clovis, New Mexico, it would behoove them to be able to rent an apartment or a home when they move here instead of buying a home. Our study revealed that there's a tremendous lack of rental units in Clovis, and the rental units could be either single-family houses or apartment complexes. So in my mind, the biggest need we have for affordable housing is in the rental market. I think that in order to solve this problem, will be an effort that will involve both government and private investors. One of the things that I've seen as I've visited with lending institutions is there's a tremendous problem with commercial lending right now. Although the banks certainly have finances to lend and would love to have that money invested in our community, federal banking examiners are very concerned when they come in and look at a bank's portfolio and see too much commercial real estate on the portfolio of the bank. So it makes it difficult for the banks to loan money on apartment complexes. That problem, I think, has really been manifest in Clovis because as we can see when we drive around, that although homes are being constructed in many places in Clovis, we're not seeing apartment complexes being constructed as fast or in as large of complexes as we need. I truly believe that our city commission has made an effort with the affordable housing plan to try to help some of these problems that have been created in Clovis, New Mexico. 31 units in the Hotel Clovis, I think that would be a great thing. It gets an eyesore off of Main Street that we've had there forever. It allows the city to participate to the extent of $1.4 million, but I believe the investor would put in $9 million of private funds to make that happen. That seems to me like that's an efficient use of tax dollars in cooperation with a private investor to make things better for Clovis, New Mexico, and to give us at least 31 more units there. And mainly, it would help revitalize our downtown. I understand that it would cost $2 million to tear down the Hotel Clovis. I think it would be vastly better to spend $1.4 million of taxpayers' dollars to have a viable structure in downtown Clovis rather than spending $2 million of taxpayers' dollars to tear something down. I'm concerned about the petition that's being circulated in Clovis right now. I truly believe that we elect people to represent us, and when the vast majority of our elected representatives on the city commission believe that the affordable housing plan is what Clovis needs, I'm concerned that a small group of folks would have a petition that would force an election that would cost $17,000. I really don't think that's a good use of taxpayers' funds, and I truly believe that we should trust the folks that we elect, and if we can't trust them, we need to make sure that we have other elected officials at the next election. The question that comes up quite often is, will Cannon build enough new houses for all military personnel eventually? And I don't believe they will. As the Air Force enters into privatization of housing, they are planning on upgrading some of the houses at Cannon, and they are planning on building new houses at Cannon, but I don't think I've ever heard them say that they have any intention of building enough houses, increasing the amount of houses they have at Cannon to handle all the folks that are moving here. I think that their plan has been that they would have enough housing for the people in the very lowest ranks, and then they expect the higher ranks to live in Clovis or Portales or Currier Roosevelt County's Melrose, and not on the base. The housing privatization plan that the Air Force is developing, I understand it will be several years before that plan fully reaches implementation and all the houses that they're planning on building or renovating are done. I know that they're also they have plans to build several new dormitories on the base, and that certainly will help in meeting the needs of our community when those new dormitories come online.